I wrote this with my friend Sussanna, and so it really just kind of became just a bunch of friends hanging out, kind of making a movie together. So Kate and Mila are great behind me, so both great and behind me, and it was so great hanging out with everybody, hanging out with them, hanging out with Sam, hanging out with Sussanna, and then we were in Budapest, Hungary, and we just had a lot of fun together. So it was just kind of like being at summer camp together, but also making a movie. We made a decision very early on that we wanted the action to feel like a great action movie, even though it was still a comedy within it. So we had Gary Powell, who's a stunt coordinator on the last bunch of Bond movies and Jason Bourne, and we would close down streets in Budapest and do car chases there and like blow up buildings and like really have, it'd be kind of big and violent. And it was super fun. I've never worked in action before, and so it was really fun to be a part of it and really fun to watch.
Yeah, so Sam and I were frenemies. We're both agents, but we obviously don't get along, and we are jockeying for a position at work, which I could totally tap into that emotion because I've dealt with that in the workforce before. Yeah, just a couple times. It was totally out of my wheelhouse. I just tell jokes for a living, and my first day on set, I actually had to full on do a fight scene, which was nuts, but it was a lot of fun. Well, first of all, they were like, "You're not holding a gun, right?" And I'm like, "Well, sorry, I haven't shot a gun." And they were like, "That's not how you fight." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." So they really had to build me up. It is amazing. Kate and Mila are so funny, and Kate McKinnon is one of the funniest actresses I have ever worked with in my entire life. She's so funny. There were times where I'd be in scenes with her and I'm like, I'm about to burst out laughing. I have to hold it in. So there's certain scenes where I don't know if the camera's on me, but I look very constipated, and it's not because I'm constipated. It's because I'm holding in laughter. I think it is going to be a great movie because it has friendship, action, comedy, all that stuff combined. It's great. Yeah, we got it?
We got it.
Sound speed.
Definitely not, because in real life I usually wear pants and a t-shirt, and on this movie, the makeup and hair crew and then the costume department, they really put their heart and soul into it, and it's been such a pleasure working with them, knowing how excited they are and just trying on different outfits. It really makes you feel badass in a way, and I've just had a great time doing it, really. The best. The thing is, I find them to be really genuine and wonderful people in real life, and being able to, be with them and learn from them and just spend time on set together, along with Sussanna, our director, David, our writer, the whole crew. We really just became close. We were supportive of each other, and it's been just really a dream filming together, and it's going to be in my heart forever. This time has been special, and filming in Budapest, in Europe, the best. And you get the chance to really learn the city, and I think you just grow personally just by traveling as much as you can, and being able to be there for quite a bit of time. You really fall in love with it, and it just makes you happy.
Honestly, it was just their natural humor and warmth, and Kate and Mila are both girls who have good girlfriends and really value that, so they just instantly had the shorthand of women who have other close friends in their life. So yeah, everyone just sort of showed up and had as fun a time as you can have when you're working long hours, and yeah, so some improv, a lot of what was on the page, and just a lot of room to be creative on the set, pretty much. Yeah.
It was great. It was really fun. I think action comedies it's not a genre that I tend to gravitate toward, just because I feel like there's a slapstick element to the action a lot of the time when it's also comedy. But I love action movies, and so I wanted it to really be a full-on legitimate action movie and also a full-on comedy, and not to try to muddle the two by having the action be funny and the comedy be kind of hijinksy. So I don't know, I just took a shot. I feel like a lot of movies in the 80s and 90s with men did that really well, so I just figured we'd give it a shot, see if a female-driven movie could do the same.
May I speak to that, Mila? May I begin?
Please.
So I met Mila the first day that we were there trying on costumes and stuff. Mila was wearing what I can only describe as a denim bag on her body that had leg holes. And I loved it so much and wanted to wear it in the movie. And I said to her, can I have that? And she said, yes. And she pulled off her bag and I put it on my body, and that's was like the first day we had on set, and that's just, that's just Mila. Not the taking off the clothes part, but the friendship and the vivaciousness and the, just sure attitude, and that's just the greatest
it was
thing.
more than just a bag. I mean, it had like.
Oh no, I have one now.
Oh, okay.
I wore it
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
It's the best bag in the world.
Okay. Bag with pockets. You got pockets.
Yeah.
No. Well, we
I
didn't.
mean, probably for them.
But not for us. We didn't really rehearse or practice or do anything. Our characters aren't supposed to be professionals, so we just kind of did it. We were like, roll in the first take. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and we just had to go like,
Whoa!
and so.
And then things just happened around us.
You don't have to train for months to do that.
Yeah. And then we had to run, but not even like Tom Cruise run, just like run.
Well,
You do have an affinity for.
I love Budapest. I
Yeah.
loved my Budapest. And I have to say this, I had never been to Amsterdam before, and that was wild. I mean, it was just simply wild. I didn't do anything other than work. I really didn't do
I
anything.
know you didn't. You
But
don't,
just like,
you don't do anything.
I don't do anything.
No.
You know me.
I do. She doesn't do anything, guys. Nothing. Like nothing. Water. You drink water.
But God, I just being in the atmosphere, I found
Yeah.
very inspiring.
Yeah. And like infectious, and you were like,
Yeah.
I love it here, but everybody was like really happy, and Kate was just naturally happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We were shooting all over Europe. Yes, we were primarily based in Budapest, and then Berlin, Vienna, and also one of my favorite cities, Amsterdam, which is a really cool city. We had a lot of fun in all of them, but yeah, Budapest was the main place we were, and the crew there were fantastic. And to be honest, it is a real road trip movie. So you go watch the movie, you see, you get a nice tour around Europe. Hasan is very funny, as you know, and he's a great comedian. I tried to give him as much sedative as possible, so to calm him down, stop him talking. No, he's brilliant. He's very, very funny, and I was lucky to be working with him. He's a really cool guy, and yeah, our characters kind of there's a little competition there, maybe, and he's just great. And actually, he really fits into that role really well. He's a natural. It's his first acting job, and he was great. But I watched his president's speech. I've watched all his live shows, so it was great to actually get to work with him. It is surprising. This is a comedy, and guess what? It's actually very funny. I think the script is amazing. Sussanna Fogel did a great job, and those two girls are incredible. It's a real amazing dynamic chemistry that they've got. But the action is superb. We had Gary Powell who did all the Bourne movies and the James Bond movies. So I got to kick some ass a little bit, and I loved it. I relished every moment.